Hey, everybody. We are back with another Beards, Business, and Black Men interview. My name is Kezia Nicole. I am your host of Beards, Business, and Black Men. And today we have a very, very special guest. We like to talk about beards, we like to talk about business, and we like to talk about Black men. And so today, our guest has all of those things. He got a business, he got a beard, and he a Black man. All right, so let's welcome to the studio, Mr. Captain Bailey.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
I am grateful to be here. How are you?
Awesome. I'm wonderful. Tell everybody about yourself.
Well, I am a 30-year-old black man. As you can see, I have a beard, and I work in the maritime industry as a merchant seaman. And my company is geared towards helping interested people become merchant seamen. I've been doing this for about 6 years now, and I love it. I've traveled everywhere from Maine down to Puerto Rico. So if you like to travel, it's definitely the industry for you.
Awesome. And so, can you share a little bit about how you got started in the maritime industry?
How I got started. Okay, so I got started in the maritime industry because I'm a third generation water worker. My grandfather was Navy, my father was Coast Guard. And growing up in Norfolk, Virginia here, I've always been around water. So it was really familiar to me, but I was not privy to the maritime industry during high school. So once I found out about it through Job Corps, I applied to the Job Corps program, which is free, and I was able to go to Oregon, and then from Oregon, that's where I did my studies to become a merchant seaman. Yeah, your audio.
Can you share a little bit with me about like what your experience is? Because you talked about, getting into the industry through being a third generation and then through AmeriCorps. Can you share a little bit can you tell me whether or not you thought that that's what you were going to do, like after you finished school and after finished um, like what you had in your plans of what you wanted to be when you grew up.
Right. So what I wanted to be before I got into the maritime industry was a motivational speaker. And as I did my research, I was attending TCC at first. And as I did my research, I realized that a lot of motivational speakers had accomplished something first before they went to talk to people. And so I had a friend who passed away while I was in college in the area of Norfolk, Virginia. And that
Mhm.
kind of pushed me to get out of the area and see what else was out there. And because I knew about this industry and I knew it came along with traveling, I took it as a sign that maybe I should try to go out there and see what it's like. And from learning and seeing different perspectives of the world, watching the sunset on the water, I was able to get a whole new perspective of what to be grateful for.
Wow. Now, did you have like a mentor or anything like growing up that was an encouragement to you?
Yes, I had numerous mentors through the church I went to at the time, Gethsemane. One of the mentors that comes to mind is Quentin Rogers, and he
Mm.
attended ODU, and he really took me under his wing, and he taught me certain principles about what a man should be like, and being faithful to your word was one of the major
Wow.
keys.
That's hard for a lot of like young men these days. Everything is so fast for them. A lot of fast stuff. So like is these days they can't tell between what's real and what's fake, honestly.
That's
Especially.
true.
So did you get it, what is it like being around, are you around a lot of guys that are like you? What does it look like as far as like being black in your industry?
So the maritime industry is very diverse. There's women, there's men, And there's Asians, there's all different types of races. However, the segment that I'm in, tugboats, which we don't go internationally, is
Mhm.
predominantly Caucasian.
Okay.
So currently, right now, I'm the only African American man on my boat of
Wow.
five. And at the last company I worked at, I was the only black guy there, which was also a tugboat company in Chesapeake,
Wow.
Virginia.
Wow. Wow. I mean, how do you navigate that? Like, what is that like?
Well, I navigated by being a student of communication.
Mhm.
So I learned to read the room, and I also learned to keep my personal perspectives to self. A lot of people get baited in sometimes by talking about the things you're not supposed to talk about: race, religion, gender,
Mhm.
politics. When those kind of conversations come up, I just observe, because a lot of people will tell you a lot about how they are if you just
Mhm.
listen.
Right. Right. That's what's up. That's what's up. So let's get into it. So you're in the maritime industry. Now, do you make a lot of money? Like what and what can someone look forward to being in the industry of maritime?
So yes, in short, the maritime industry is very lucrative. I do very well for myself, and with me having a license, it gives me the ability to freelance as well.
Mm,
So you can own a pleasure craft without needing a captain's license, but if you want to monetize that service, then you'd have to
wow.
hire a captain. So there's numerous opportunities anywhere where there's ports: Miami, Virginia, Maryland, New York, anywhere where there's water surrounding it. There's people that have boats, and they might have a fishing vessel, they might have a personal yacht, but if they want to have people on board and charge them to get on there, then they'd have to hire a captain.
Well, we're gonna have to have a beards and boat, you know what I mean, event. We gotta
Oh
pull that
yeah,
out, you know what I mean? Share a
for
little
sure.
bit of more about like what you do as far as like helping individuals get into the maritime industry.
So what I do specifically is I offer informative processing. Um, like I said, a lot of the paperwork is written in jargon that, if you're not a maritime or a merchant seaman related party, it'll be very hard for you to comprehend. So I offer assistance in the processing. I offer direction as far as where to go to get your credentials that you need to get to work. And then I also offer entry level opportunities. So after you get your paperwork done, after you get a feel for what you want to do, now I assist you in actually getting to work.
Awesome. Would you say it's challenging? Like, what do you feel like the biggest challenge is for like getting into the maritime industry?
Well, the biggest challenge is, like you said earlier, it's not overnight, right? So it's not an instant gratuity thing. Some of these credentials that you need to work out here, they take a couple weeks to a month to come back. So that can be, for a person who wants a quick turnaround, that can be kind of frustrating. I would say another thing is being flexible. Like when you first get out here, you're not going to have the luxury of picking your schedule. Now you can pick your schedule once you have some credentials and some sea time, which is experience. Like I work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. However, if you're first starting off, you have to be flexible. When I first started off, I did 277 days out of the 365 that year. And
Mhm.
I didn't really know when I was coming and going. So that is a part of getting your experience, because a company really wants people who already have experience. But once you get your experience that first year, then you build a network up, and you're free to go where you want, and you can find a better schedule that fits you.
Wow. And what would you say that's what about like what 2 years, maybe?
I did I did the on call thing for a year, and after that, I found this company that I'm at currently with,
Mhm.
and they have a 2 week on, 2 week off rotation. Most companies have equal time rotations, so the biggest key is they want you to already come with experience. So that's
Mm,
why I had to work at a smaller company, which didn't have a big schedule because they were smaller,
mhm.
right? They needed me at their disposal. And once I gained the knowledge and the information, I was able to then apply to a bigger company, which had accommodations that were more to my liking.
So, what would you say the first 2 steps to getting into the maritime industry?
Well, the first two steps, you definitely want to do your research, and then you're going to want to get your credentials. So research, figure out, is this something you want to do? What is a merchant seaman? A merchant seaman is someone who moves products or people over the water. And then you're going to get your TWIC card, because you can't do anything else without getting your TWIC card. And a TWIC card is a transportation workers identification card.
Awesome. So, how do people get in touch with you? What's the best way they can get in touch with you to find out more about how to get into the maritime industry?
Well, the best way they can reach me is at Above Water Maritime on Instagram. I'm very social because I'm geared to helping youth, either right out of high school or maybe some still in high school. But anyone can contact me, anyone can reach me. Um, but I like to stay in the youth's ear so that way they can hear about the opportunities that are right there in their backyard.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now let's talk about it. You know, you got a beard, it looks really nice. When did you start growing your beard?
Thank you. Well, I've always had a beard throughout my 20s, but I cut it about three times. And I would say I stopped cutting my beard after 25, so about 5 years.
Wow. Wow. Do now what products are you using? What tell us a little bit about like how you manage your beard now that it's growing.
So how I manage my beard is I use rosemary oil, and
What that smell
it's
like?
oh, it smells amazing. But
Really?
I normally keep it moisturized
Mhm.
daily,
Mhm.
especially working out there to see the salt in the air. It can really dry your skin out. So
Yeah.
I make sure I moisturize it, and I make sure I shampoo and wash it, and I
Okay.
shampoo and wash it with the same company right here,
Mhm.
because they make products for our people for that 4C hair. 'Cause I got real thick hair, so
Oh, you know that's you can't say 4C. You know that's a racist term, don't you?
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, let me hip you up on game. We don't say 4C. People that's woke. 4C, that terminology in categorizing our hair came from a European person on how they
Wow.
categorize. Kind of like when they called our hair nappy
Okay.
or dreadlocks dreadful.
So what should I
So
call my hairstyle? The
coiled,
thickness,
heavily,
coil.
tightly curled. Yep,
Okay.
coiled.
Okay. Learn something
We
new
don't
today.
say nappy and we don't say 4C, 3C. Like,
Okay.
it was a stylist, a European stylist that
Oh,
they made that up,
that
you
sounds
know.
about right.
But we say it's coiled, it's
Okay.
tightly curled, it's strong.
That's right. That's right.
All things affirming and, affirmation about our skin color and our hair, right?
For sure. For sure.
But, I'm here to encourage and to educate.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm definitely gonna remember that.
Absolutely
I like
doing it.
having a beard because it's symbolic of wisdom in a lot of cultures. I mean, even in the Bible, Moses, a lot of great men had beards,
Now,
and so
did you like get like is there a different response from people or even like in the dating scene, like was there a response differently when you had a beard versus when you didn't?
um, I've always been considered a old soul, like very mature
Okay.
and wise. So like
Hmm.
even when I was baby face and I only had a little bit of hair, I
Hmm.
always spoke from a different perspective. But the
Hmm.
beard definitely helped carry some weight, right? Working with older men,
Yeah.
sometimes they would try to like, oh, well, you're a youth and you don't really necessarily know what you're referring to. But I
Mm.
I definitely think the beard gives me some more credibility, And
Okay.
sometimes when I'm at work and I'm not listening, I'll just kind of I'll just do one of these numbers, but I'm really not listening. You know what I mean? But it makes it look like, yeah, okay,
It just makes
I'm
you look like you. That's a trick for everybody, okay? If you want to
right.
look like you listening and you got a beard, just do like this and it'll
Yep. It'll add some to it.
Yep. So I like to dig in and get a little with coffee with keys. We're gonna call it coffee with keys. Some people say tea. Are we single? Are we dating?
Right now, I am currently in a relationship, and
Okay. And how did
it's
she
not a
now? Did she have
traditional
the
one.
beard when you met her?
Yes, I did have my beard
Okay,
when I met
okay.
her.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, was there a difference? How did she feel about your beard?
Well, she's seen me without the beard, but she does want me
Okay.
to keep the beard. So
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Well, that is it for today, guys. Make sure you go and you follow Captain Bailey on Instagram at Above Water Maritime. It is really we are so grateful that you came to bless us with your presence and tell us about what you're doing. I can't wait to see all of the people. Now, do you have a goal on how many people you want to get involved in the maritime? Like what are some things that you have coming up?
I'm grateful to be here, and I have calendars coming out, and I also have a course coming out this fall. So
Nice.
I would like to get as many people as I can, men and women. Like I said, this industry is very diverse. Anyone who thinks they might not be able to do it, trust me, you can do it. I had a learning disability in school growing up, dyslexia. So it's not one of those I don't know if I'm smart enough type of things. You could
Mhm.
definitely learn how to be a mariner.
Oh, awesome. A quick question now. Does it cost a lot of money? Like what type of coin should they be prepared for?
They should definitely be prepared for at least a $500 investment on their credentials.
Okay.
However, as a merchant seaman, you're going to make that back within 2 days. So,
Wow. Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, thank you again. Make sure you guys go and follow him on Instagram, Above Water Maritime. And I am just elated. I just cannot wait. I would love to have you back again. But my last question is, are we going to be in the Beards and Business fashion show this year?
I would definitely like to be in the fashion show. Yes,
Awesome. I know your schedule. You gotta check your schedule. It's in
that's right.
November.
Okay.
Okay, November 6th. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Make sure you stay connected. We're gonna get you, help promote. And
All right.
yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
And we will connect later because I got a couple things I want to talk to you about. So yep. All right.
Mm,
Thanks, Captain Bailey.
thank you.
Well, guys, don't forget to subscribe to Beards, Business, and Black Men podcast, and we will see you next time. Peace and light.